doubts and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance.
Good morning, Maureen. Good morning, Angelina. Good morning, everybody. And welcome to the MyTarot Morning Reflection, Daily Inventory, chance to check in with the universe, reminder to slow down. What else do we got? Because this is one of the, I tell you what, so back in the elder days, I know that doing this in the mornings and meditation and stuff has this effect on me. This morning, some of us might take pills. We might be at that age where we have pills we take in the morning. And I dropped the pill bottle and just watched it explode everywhere. And I guess after doing this for so many years and reminding personally myself when I do it, that I always say that everything's, that everything's an omen and there are no coincidences. So I just kind of laughed at first with that. Bent down to pick up my glasses. The first thing I pick up the pills. Next thing I do is I watch my glasses hit the floor because I knocked those off when getting down to get the pills. And it just reminded me that, oh yeah, this is a reminder that I've got a chain of events that I am creating here from my pills to the glasses to what's going to be the next in the chain of events. And it reminded me to stop and breathe. It reminded me that, we talk about this every day. I've read about this, and that we've heard the old saying, you can start your day over at any time, but it has to be like a habit. And I will say that the positive influence of doing a morning meditation and something that's healthy for us, whatever good habits are developed, that they do have a positive influence. It's just sometimes we don't realize it. So I'm just grateful again for everybody who shows up as a reminder that we're just trying to find something positive to do for ourselves and maybe offer that to other people. So now it's like taking that breath, listening to the cars like they're the sounds of the ocean. I just realized that I needed that light switch because my shoulders were way up past my ears. My shoulders were actually probably touching the top of my head, but I just felt them go down with that breath. So, which reminds us, can we check in with where our feet are? I like to roll my feet because it just feels good. Roll my ankles. And then my butt doing the kitty dance, getting all nice and comfortable. Feeling the channels changing in my head. I hear the little click, 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 click. And then checking in with the shoulders again. Oh, that's much better. Then the neck and the breathing, and it's like, oh yeah. So, one of those mornings, there's snow on the ground. There's snow on the ground there. Well, snow is magical. Actually, for Canada, that's just called a Tuesday, isn't it? Well, be careful, don't slip, and all that other stuff. I hope it's beautiful. We have leaves springing. We have cardinals in our front yard. We have the cherry blossoms are blossoming. So it's definitely springtime around here. A little bit cold and damp yesterday, but that's okay. So, what am I going to do here? I am going to be grateful for the people who are here because I have not had a problem with the camera since. Every time I click, I'm still nervous about what's going to appear. So with an extra breath, what am I going to do? I'm going to make our 3 stacks. It's like each one's a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one's a different thought or idea, and it's as if each one of these, if we believe in the multiverse, it's as if each one of these is a different path, because this conversation will lead down one path, This conversation will lead down a totally different path than this one. And the question this morning is, which string do we want to pull? And today, let's go with the bottom one, or what I like to think of as things that are underneath that might be influencing us and we don't even realize it. Now for the exciting part. Let's do our 3 and 1. And we'll flip each card over one at a time like we're reading the pages of a book. Extra breath and checking in with the shoulders. So much better of a way to start the day. And flipping the first card over, we have the Queen of Swords. So, swords are the element air. Swords are our thoughts, our ideas, and sometimes our anxieties. Queens are the element of water, so they are our feelings, emotions, our spirituality. And when we have the Queen of Swords, look at that sword sitting upright. So in this particular deck, like the King's sword is kind of cocked at an angle, meaning that the King's can allow other things to influence his thoughts, because he's the king, and so he gets to, that's us, and I call that the adulting card when we're the king. But court cards, they can be another person, they can be us, or just part of a situation, and they're not male or female, they're masculine energy, feminine energy. So with the swords are about seeing things clearly. It's about being clear-sighted. It's about our thoughts, sometimes our anxieties, as we're looking at the world through the element of the swords. Queens, though. Queens are looking at it through empathy. Queens are looking at through it with emotions and with their feelings, so that, yes, the Queen sees exactly what needs to be seen, but they're not just looking at it from the neck up. So when we are the Queen of Swords, this is when we are being clear-sighted, when we are seeing things for the way they are, but we also recognize that we have emotions and feelings. And so sometimes we need to allow that to be the filter through which we see things. Sometimes I call this the tough love card, because it is about being emotionally present, but also, again, being able to see the facts for what they really are. But this Queen is looking particularly over at this card, which is the Page of Wands. So we now have 2 court cards and a page. A page is when we have that attitude where we are ready to learn, where we, like a younger person represented on this card, we are open to new ideas, we're open to new thoughts. And wands are the element of fire. So that's our passion, our creativity, our energy. And so we can see Pamela Coleman-Smith did a wonderful job. She put a little feather on his hat that looks like, it might be a flame. And he's got his wand here, and we see the green shoots. And this is us when we are open to looking at things in a new way. And they look like they are fascinated just by the green shoots. All the other world around here is brown. And yet they're choosing to see the green. And so that's us when we are willing to be grounded, because the pages are the element of earth. And so it's like when we are grounding ourselves, opening ourselves up to something new and exciting. And since wands are fire, opening ourselves up to new experiences, our passions, our energy, our creativity, and finding a focus that'll help us to grow, just like that little shoot. And it's interesting because I always say that court cards, since we don't know what the next cards are going to be, but when there's one court card, that can be somebody else, that can be us. A lot of times when there's multiple court cards, it's multiple aspects of our own personalities. And the Queen of Swords, that mature side, is staring at the Page of Wands and almost guiding us. It's that voice at the back of our head that says, maybe we need to do something different. And it's almost as if she's guiding us to say, remember the positive and remember the things that we can enjoy and have passion about, and then get ready to explore, as we see what they're both looking at, which is the Two of Cups. So here we have all these elements here. We have the swords, which is the element of air, and our ideas presented by the Queen. Two, our page, who's going to take that guidance, and with the element of fire, it's going to find what makes our lives a little bit more enjoyable, so that we can go to the Two of Cups, and cups of the element of water. There are spirituality, our emotions, and our feelings. So twos are about choices, twos are about balance, twos are about coming together. So we still have the advice card, but today is about reflecting on what our Queen of Swords, reflecting on what they're saying, what they're reminding us, that it's like a queen is mature. A queen will make sure that the kingdom is, that the heart is taken care of. And part of that sometimes is to take the children out to play. Right? I could be turning this into a guitar here. I could be learning a new song. As a matter of fact, I've been very silly, like taking a Blue Oyster Cult 70s song that is this kind of a science fiction song with guitars and all this other, and keyboard, and turned it into a 12-string acoustic. And it actually sounds really cool. And that kind of reminds me of what this is. Mina, her little inner self, can say, I'm tired. It's like, I need to remember to take a break. And I'll watch her pull out the patterns and start knitting. And she gets such joy from that. And when we do that, it just makes us so much more open to the world and to the people around us. And that's what this is the reminder of. And it's interesting that Pamela Coleman Smith put the caduceus here, because sometimes it's that coming together and that feeling that we get, that we also find is when we're the most healthy, when we're sharing with people, when we're talking to people about where we really are. But let's see what the advice card is. The advice card is the Emperor. So, what is the Emperor? We have all this emotion and feeling and all these things going on up here, and yet we have a very stern card down here, right? This is the ultimate adulting card. For look around at my fields, for the fields grow, and I will protect the kingdom. And Pamela Coleman Smith has horns here, puts a rams here, so that we know that this is Aries, and that Aries is this powerful god. So what this is, as the advice card, why do we frickin' work so hard? Well, we do the adulting. We do the Emperor stuff. But man, to live the Emperor life 24/7? The Emperor is saying, why do we all do this? Why does the Emperor put this effort in? And the Emperor looks out at the Queen and the Page and his subjects and says, oh yeah, that's why we do it. This may be apocryphal. I had heard that Winston Churchill had during World War II, one of his ministers came up and said that we need more money, and so we need to slash the money for the arts. And Winston Churchill said, then what is it that we're fighting for? I don't know if that's apocryphal, and that's definitely paraphrasing, but this is like Winston Churchill having our back, right? So that we remember why we're doing it, so that we can be our Queen of Cups and our Queen of Sword. Understand that, the Emperor and the Queen of Swords can work together so that our Page of Wands can go out and just do something that we enjoy for a little bit. Because the Emperor knows that with the end result of the Two of Cups, that the kingdom is going to be that much healthier for it. So today, remember why we do what we do. Remember that it's not just all about paying for the electricity. Sometimes life gets to us and it's, that crown weighs really heavy on our head. As we are getting our homes and everything in order, that crown can be the heaviest thing in the world. But when the Emperor looks out and he sees the page playing or creating something, and the others around the page are enjoying the atmosphere, all watched over by the Queen of Swords, it makes everything that the Emperor is doing worthwhile. So remember, you're the Emperor, and everything that we do and all the positive, these are things that just make it all worthwhile. Take care. Have an amazing day. Oh my goodness. Thank you for giving me an excuse to take a breath. I hope everybody here remember to take that breath. I am looking forward to today and tomorrow. See you all later.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. The stories we have found in the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light, readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears.